searching for answers as Saskatoon families questions after their loved one died following an altercation with hospital security. The Prime Minister prepares for an official visit to China. Does Saskatchewan's ag sector have high hopes? And what's behind the rising prices of electronics?
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a Saskatoon family who is calling for answers after their loved one died. It happened at Royal University Hospital following a physical altercation with a security guard. And as CTV's Laura Woodward reports, the family wants to know what happened.
He was special.
36-year-old Trevor Dubois is being remembered as a social worker who wanted to make the world a better place.
When the suicide crisis happened up north, he was there helping. I was so proud of him. I am so proud of him.
Dubois' older brother had lunch with him on Thursday, not knowing that would be their final moment together.
Make sure you don't lose your appetite. Don't get weak. And he goes, yeah, just watch. And sure enough, he beat me. Like, we had the same thing for lunch. We had clubhouses and finished his first. He's like, gotcha, bro.
Dubois was undergoing chemo treatment at Royal University Hospital. On Friday morning, his mother got a call that her son had died, not from a health complication, but after a physical altercation with security. Saskatoon police were called in to investigate. They say security went into his room because they believed he had a gun. Quote, following the incident, an imitation firearm was located, along with methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. The Dubois family says the imitation gun was actually his lighter that's shaped like a firearm.
A cigarette holder and lighter. And it was pink and bright pink and bright yellow.
CTV News asked police what the imitation gun looks like, if they could share a photo so we could confirm if it matches the family's description, but police declined, noting this is an active investigation. Meanwhile, the Saskatchewan Health Authority says the security guard involved has been suspended and an independent review into the officer's use of force is underway.
I have no answers. I just want to know what happened. What time of death? What time did he pass? How did he pass? Where did he pass? And why?
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
More than 200 staff at St. Paul's Hospital are calling on the province and the health authority to create a safety plan and respond to violence and safety concerns. A letter written last night addressed to senior leadership at the Saskatchewan Health Authority and the provincial government outlines what employees say they are experiencing at St. Paul's Hospital. The letter, signed by emergency room staff, provides testimonials where workers describe incidents of having blood spit on them. They also talk about cases where weapons were used or were concealed on a person. They also allege a grenade was brought into the ER, that people have been tasered in the waiting room, and that security have been stabbed, with other staff being kicked, punched, or wrestled to the ground. The letter calls for more security, safety measures, and things like metal detectors to help address violence. CTV News reached out to the SHA about the letter and did not hear back in time for broadcast. A man who was part of a group that stabbed a Prince Albert security guard has pleaded guilty to an assault with a weapons charge. Gilbert Robillard was charged following the stabbing that took place in the 2900 block of 2nd Avenue West on January 7th of last year. At the time, police said 3 suspects, 2 women and 1 man, stole the victim's keys. They say the victim then followed the suspects and a fight broke out. The 24-year-old security guard was treated by paramedics and transported to hospital following the stabbing. Robillard pleaded guilty to being party to the offense of assault with a weapon. He spent the last 371 days in custody for the incident. He has been released on a 12-month probation and is prohibited from contacting the victim. Crews working to fix a water system failure on the Peter Ballantyne Cree Nation are making some progress, but residents are still being asked to conserve water. In an update shared yesterday, the First Nation said the water plant reservoirs were full over the weekend, but levels dropped when intake pumps were shut down for testing. Crews were also having issues with temporary pumps being frozen and had to install heaters at the pumping site. In addition to conserving water, since the failure last week, residents are also advised to boil their water. Schools are also expected to remain closed for the next few days. There's a sense of optimism in Saskatchewan as Premier Scott Moe will be joining Prime Minister Mark Carney on a trip to China to talk trade and tariffs. As Sierra D'Souza Butts tells us, Saskatchewan producers we spoke to say it's important to rebuild international trade relations with countries other than the U.S.
Since China imposed tariffs on agricultural products, producers across Saskatchewan continue to feel the impacts.
We've seen our input costs have continued to rise, although maybe not as fast as they had been in the past, but they've continued to increase, and we're seeing our commodity prices decreasing.
In response to Canada imposing a 100% tariff on electric vehicles and a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum from China, the country imposed tariffs on Canadian exports, including canola, seafood, and pork. The ongoing trade dispute has caused uncertainty for those in the egg industry. But now that Prime Minister Mark Carney is making his first official trip to China, along with Premier Scott Moe, producers and suppliers are feeling a bit more optimistic.
We need China as a market for the products that we grow here. It's a very important market for the commodities that we grow. So ultimately, we need to see those trade relations normalized.
The 5-day trade mission intends to raise Canada's engagement on trade, energy, agriculture, and international security with China, along with expanding its markets for Canadian goods with countries other than the U.S. In an email statement, Premier Scott Moe said Canada and Saskatchewan need a strong relationship with China, and these meetings support the process of recalibrating how we work together.
You can't ignore the economic giants, China, India, the United States.
Al-Khatib says a face-to-face visit is the only way a resolution can be reached to rebuild Canada's international trade relations.
Tariffs are the new weapon of, establishing the new world order in trade. So what we want is reliable, predictable tariffs so that we do know what they are and that we don't want them to be changing without subject notice.
We just want to see some normal trade again. We want to be able to make a living.
Carney's visit will be the first by a Canadian Prime Minister since 2017. As for Moe, this will be his second time traveling to the country within the last 6 months. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
A woman has pleaded guilty for her role in the death of a woman in Prince Albert. Chelsea Crow pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of being a party to an assault and unlawful confinement of Taya Sinclair, whose body was found burned at a snow dump by the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse in March of 2022. Crow had been charged with manslaughter. Sinclair was a 24-year-old mother of 2 and was reported missing a day before her body was found. 59-year-old Michael Smilly pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder when his trial began today. Crow will return for sentencing on January 30th. If you're looking to purchase an electronic device in the future, you may want to do it soon. Prices are on the rise thanks to AI. Hallie Mandrick has the story.
As artificial intelligence is becoming more common, the technology required for personal devices is becoming more expensive.
RAM's a pretty important part of computers, and RAM's going to be about 3 times more expensive comparatively to what it was even last year or last month.
Random access memory, better known as RAM, is crucial in the functionality of nearly all forms of personal technology, from computers to smartphones to gaming consoles and even TVs. But it's not always powerful enough to support AI.
There's sort of the traditional RAM that we all use in our phones, our cars, laptops, like say your PlayStation. And then what AI needs is a slightly different product. It needs what we call sort of a high bandwidth memory. And so it's similar in concept, but it's built sort of completely different.
So Mezcal says many major producers are shifting their focus to build technology that can meet the increasing demands of AI. That means it will likely strain the supply of traditional RAM for consumer products. The impact is filtering across the country, including Saskatchewan, causing an increase in prices at stores for common tech products and uncertainty among retailers.
I mean, it's never fun having to sell people things for more money than it was, say 6 months ago, but there's not really a concern. I guess we have to wait and see what happens.
While many consumers are interested in buying the most up-to-date technology, Mezcal offered some advice for those planning a big purchase in the future.
You might get that additional productivity piece because of the higher quality of the technology, but there's going to be a higher cost. So people are going to have to make that decision. If you don't need that, if what the product available today is good enough, you're probably better to act quicker.
Mezcal predicted that this supply issue will likely be resolved within the next 2 years. However, there is no guarantee that the prices will drop after the issue is resolved. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Rinks in the province are now eligible for an increase in funding. The provincial government is doubling funding for the Community Rink Affordability Grant. Recipients can receive $5,000 per rink. The province is now committing to more than $3.2 million annually. Government officials marked today's announcement this morning at Saskatoon's ACT Arena.
These rinks, as you all know, are so important to our communities. Whether it's sporting events or recreational activities, our local rinks are a place where people of all ages come together.
Applications for the 2025-26 grants are now open and will remain open until February 27th. The Saskatoon Heritage Society celebrated 50 years yesterday. The organization's annual New Year celebration brought in many visitors to the Mar House as they were given an opportunity to learn more about how Saskatoon has changed since 1976. It was standing room only for a presentation which featured a timeline of the city's most iconic landmarks.
I think it's hugely optimistic. It makes me feel really good that people are coming out, learning about the history of the society and what happened before that, how it all began, and about what we've been doing within the society.
The event took place inside the Mar residence, which is Saskatoon's oldest building that still stands on its original site. Still to come, Stacey takes a check on your weekday forecast. How warm will it get? And taking a sweep of the provincial curling championships. It was a Highland sweep at the men's and women's provincial curling championships. Kelly Knapp earning a second Sask tankard title, while Jolene Campbell is returning to the Scotties as a skip for the first time in a decade. Donovan Mace has more from Melville.
For the first time in a decade.
It's on the guard. It's going to tick and roll off. And Jolene Campbell will not have to throw her last rock.
Jolene Campbell will skip Team Saskatchewan at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
It's been 10 years since I won that game, man. That is a long damn time, so it feels really good.
Team Campbell claiming the Bungie Prairie pinnacle.
Hi, girl. Takes the double. Robin Silvernagle here in the fifth. Great shot.
Defeating Janet Tisdale's rank in Sunday's finale.
I think all of us just worked really well as a unit and did our jobs really well and just played like a team.
The Scotties will be Campbell's sixth appearance in the national championship, doing so 3 previous times as an alternate and most recently as a third for Team Kerry in 2022.
It's what we've wanted to do since we all were kids. It's why I still play the game, and I'm just ecstatic. Could not be happier.
And on the men's side,
final stone, 10th end.
Nothing but air.
He'll drive it through the hole in the forefoot. Kelly Knapp is going to steal.
Kelly Knapp is back on the throne, taking down the defending champion, Rylan Kleider.
It feels even better this time, honestly. I just know the work we put in this year and just how well we've been playing.
Knapp having to beat Kleider twice in the playoffs en route to the Sask Tankard Championship.
Close. Go, 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 go. Out the back.
Knapp's second title in 4 years after he last won in 2023.
Just build off of what we learned in 2023, and like I say, I just feel more prepared myself too. Like we can go and give it a good run at playoffs again.
Valuable experience soon to be Briar rookie and lead Matt Ring says he'll rely on.
Honestly, I don't think it's sunk in yet. Yeah, first tankard final for myself. Really relied on the guys' expertise and experience. It helped a lot.
The 2026 Montana's Briar goes February 27th to March 8th in St. John's, Newfoundland, while the Scotties Tournament of Hearts goes January 23rd to February 1st in Mississauga, Ontario. Donovan Mace, CTV News, Melville.
Well, Stacey, when you fill in for Jeff, we get good weather, so maybe there's something to this. What do you think?
It could be a weird coincidence, but I'll just say that I was the one that brought the warm weather.
Sure. We'll keep you around then.
We'll go with that. I like the sounds of that. Okay, so yes, temperatures on the plus side for most of the week. That's something to look forward to. Right now, the sun's just setting. Pretty image right there. Let's take a look at our radar and satellite. Bit of precipitation and freezing rain areas south of Prince Albert, making its way southeast. Now, you're probably wondering why we're starting to see this warm up. Essentially, a ridge of upper high pressure just above the atmosphere in the prairies, essentially allowing that warm Pacific air to move in. So that's why we're seeing that warm up over the next few days up until Friday. Then we'll start to see that cool down. Currently, it's 3 in Saskatoon, 7 in Prince Albert, and 6 in the Battlefords. Moderate winds. Maple Creek, our hot spot at 12. Uranium City, our cold spot at -16. Now, Uranium City will also start to see that warm up Wednesday, a high of 2. So just, if you're in that area, just brave it out for a few more days. Currently, it's 4 in Estevan, 3 in Regina, 5 in Yorkton, 2 in Kindersley. Then we really start to see that warm up in the Battlefords, Meadow Lake, Waskesiu, 6 degrees. As we move more north, 5 in La Ronge, -1 in Key Lake and Stony Rapids and Collins Bay, seeing those minus double digits. As we go down south, temperatures all on the plus side in the single digits. Maple Creek still pretty warm at 8 degrees. A wide range of temperatures here for an outlook, for an elbow, so it's looking to be pretty nice. Now at our future cast here, cloud coverage pretty much throughout the province tomorrow. We can see some flurries and some precipitation areas north of Prince Albert. That system's going to make its way down to the southeast corner of the province. A bit of precipitations areas south of Regina. And then those white lines on the screen, they're called isobores, pretty close together, indicating some pretty strong winds tomorrow, so keep that in mind. -1 in La Ronge, mix of sun and cloud in Stony Rapids, a chilly -17. Buffalo Narrows seeing some flurries, 1 degree there. Meadow Lake, cloudy, 1. Spiritwood, Kindersley, Rosetown, mix of sun and cloud there. Temperatures on the positive side. Maple Creek, Leader, Outlook, Swift Current, all mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures on the positive side. Yorkton seeing some flurries from that system we just saw, 2 degrees. Regina, Moose Jaw, Estevan, mix of sun and cloud. Melfort, some more flurries from that system, 2. Watrous, 1 mix of sun and cloud. Hudson Bay, again, flurries and 1 degree there. Partly cloudy in the Battlefords tonight. Now the winds will gust up to 50 kilometers an hour. Keep that in mind. Tomorrow they'll die down a bit, and a mix of sun and cloud, a high of 2. Heading into that week, temperatures on the plus side. Wednesday, a high of 2, a low of 1. Thursday, it's going to be quite windy. Keep that in mind, a high of 3. And then Friday, we start to see that cool down. Not that bad. It's still in the minus single digits. In Prince Albert tonight, partly cloudy. Again, some strong winds there, gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow, cloudy, winds from the northwest at 20, a high of 2. Tomorrow, or Wednesday, a high of 1. Thursday, also pretty cloudy, or pretty windy. There'll also be some sun and cloud there. And then Friday, we'll start to see a cool down into the minus double digits. Now, in Saskatoon tonight, a low of -1, partly cloudy and some strong winds. Tomorrow, a high of 2, sun and cloud, and winds coming from the northwest at 20 kilometers. Wednesday, a high of 1. And again, the same pattern. We'll really start to see that cool down Friday, -10 into the weekend, minus single digits. So not as bad as what we've been seeing in the past few weeks. Now to our roll forecast. Some flurries in Melfort, Hudson Bay, and Wynyard. Again, just because of that system that we saw earlier. Some single digits on the plus side, mix of sun and cloud in Lloydminster, Kindersley, Outlook, Watrous, Spiritwood, Meadow Lake, mainly cloudy there. Maple Creek still looking to be pretty warm, 7 degrees there. Mix of sun and cloud pretty much across the board. Kenora, Broadview, Carlisle, seeing those flurries. And then Cornack, it's going to be pretty windy. Now we're going to move over to Carnduff here. Now it's also where you can get internet plans up to 1 gig from SaskTel. It's going to be 2 degrees, looking pretty nice. Some strong winds, but mix of sun and cloud. And Chantel, not too bad considering, again, the weather we've had in the weeks past.
This is true, and it is still January. Thanks, Stacey. Still to come, a collection of collectibles. A look at what brought sports enthusiasts under one roof in Saskatoon.
Hey there, Derek Chesney here with the Saskatoon Crimestoppers. Saskatoon Crimestoppers is a non-profit organization that works with the community in partnership with the public, the media, and the police in a joint commitment to prevent and solve crime in Saskatoon and the province. Saskatoon Crimestoppers provides the public with the opportunity to anonymously and therefore safely communicate information that they have regarding criminal activity in our community. Our program is entirely funded on community donations and corporate sponsors. If you know about a crime that has been committed, you can leave a tip by calling 1-800-222-8477 or online at our website at saskatooncrimestoppers.com. Tips can be left 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When submitting a tip, the caller will never be asked to reveal their identity. Once a tip has been submitted, a tip number is provided, and the caller's identity is never known to us. We will not ask your name, and you can remain anonymous. Information that is provided to Crimestoppers can help police build cases in Saskatoon and around the province to reduce, prevent, and solve crimes. Please visit our website for more information. You can also check us out on Instagram and X for updates on active crimes and photos of suspects that are wanted or need identifying. Saskatoon Crimestoppers, do your part to stop crime in our community.
Well, fans of sports cards and other collectibles came together under one roof over the weekend. The first Saskatoon Sports Card and Collectible Show of the year was held at the Centre Mall on Saturday. The monthly gathering features a variety of collectibles. Hundreds of people stopped by to check out the many collections, which heavily featured sports memorabilia. The next show is February 7th, so it's a monthly thing. You're probably wondering why things might be a little bit different tonight. We have an abbreviated show to bring you NFL football, but we can't leave without some special recognition and pick of the day.
Yes, some highlights today. We got some birthdays. This is Carl Urban from Bruno. He celebrated his 100th birthday with his family, friends, and the community yesterday. And this photo was sent in by Margaret from Humboldt. Wow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. It looks like they went all out with the banner, and you look great for 100. And then this next photo is Florence Bronze. She also celebrated her 100th birthday in Middle Lake on Friday. Debbie Bond sent this one in and says, happy birthday, Aunt Florence. And Chantal, doesn't she look like a Miss Canada? She has her sash and her tiara and, of course, the beautiful smile.
Yes, happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday. And then finally, we have happy birthday to Stella Atkin. It's her 96th birthday today.
Wow.
Her daughter Ellen says Stella loves music and will sing and dance whenever they have entertainment at her complex.
Well, a special happy birthday to you as well.
And Ellen also sends love from all her family, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren.
Wow, that is amazing. I need to know what youth serums that they use, because they all are phenomenal. But
no, guys, write in and send us some tips, because you look amazing.
Absolutely. And maybe it's the forecast. Maybe that's your gift to them,
You know
right?
what? Yes, I figured why not celebrate these wonderful people with a beautiful forecast, especially tomorrow. We got temperatures again on the plus side and some sunshine, Chantal. The wind's not too bad, so it's looking pretty good.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great evening.